let's tell you about the biggest story of the day. The visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Israel. Viewers, Prime Minister Modi is on a two-day visit to Israel. It's his second visit to the country in 9 years. The trip comes at a very crucial time, with the West Asia, the region specifically there, witnessing heightened tensions and shifting geopolitical equations. Beyond the ceremonial engagements, there are substantive strategic conversations that are expected. Ahead of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Tel Aviv, Benjamin Netanyahu said that Israel will create an entire system, essentially a kind of hexagon of alliances around or within the Middle East. He listed India, he listed Greece, the Greek Cypriot administration and unnamed Arab, African and Asian countries as members of the proposed alliance. And this, viewers, seems to have rattled Pakistan, with Islamabad calling it an anti-Muslim Ummah bloc, because soon after this announcement from Israeli Prime Minister, the Pakistani Parliament Senate rushed to unanimously pass a resolution describing the alliance as a threat. Now, viewers, the visit also follows, in fact, the first round of negotiations for the India-Israel Free Trade Agreement. The terms of reference, remember, were signed in November 2025 when Union Minister Piyush Goyal was there. That established a structured framework for discussions on identified areas to enhance trade and economic cooperation. The talks that began on 23rd of February set the stage for higher level political engagement during Prime Minister's visit. Perhaps the most closely watched aspect of this visit, viewers, is the defense cooperation, as India is looking at developing an indigenous air defense shield called as Sudarshan Chakra. It is learned that New Delhi will like to explore the possibility of incorporating certain elements from Israel's Iron Dome all-weather defense system, one of the most effective defense shields on the planet, and how that can intercept and destroy missiles and artillery shells. Let's tell you a little bit about Israel's Iron Dome first. We'll come to this one a little later. First, let's go back to that graphics that we had earlier. We will first tell you what Israel has right now. Israel's Iron Dome, it's one of the most effective defense shields on the planet. It is a short-range missile defense system. What it does is, it intercepts. It stops missiles, mortars, rockets, etc. Its interception rate is 90%, which is huge. Missile range is up to 70 kilometers. That makes it very, very effective. It protects Israel from threats. 5,000 plus interceptions have been reported, in the last few years. It is designed to stop rockets, missiles, as well as drones. And it consists of 3 key components. Now, what are these 3 key components? There is a radar that detects, then there is a command center, and then there are interceptor missiles. So that's how it works, and that's how it protects Benjamin Netanyahu's Israel from the threats. Now, India wants something like this. India wants its own Sudarshan Chakra. The target is 2035. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had made this big announcement during the Independence Day speech. We want an impregnable strategic shield, a shield that will protect us. We want a multi-layered air defense system. This is what the Prime Minister is looking forward to having, similar to Israel's Iron Dome system. And it will be designed, researched and manufactured in India. That's our goal. 360-degree protection of borders and skies is what we are going to be looking forward to. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi is currently talking to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Those are the visuals that we are getting for you at this point in time from Israel. Just a short while ago, the Israeli Prime Minister and his wife both had gone to receive Prime Minister Modi from the airport in Tel Aviv. Now the focus is going to be first on the bilateral meeting. There's going to be a warm reception that Prime Minister will be receiving, by the members of the Indian diaspora, who are also looking forward to, welcoming him. They've also got their grand plans to welcome the Prime Minister, and the bilateral is going to be very important. And as I was telling you a little bit about the key things that we'll be looking forward to, one, of course, if there's going to be any movement, any further movement in the free trade agreement between India and Israel. That's point number one. Second, the Hexagon alliance that Israeli Prime Minister has spoken about. What happens on that aspect? And third most important aspect is, will Israel be sharing its Iron Dome technology or something that can help India move ahead with its plan to make that Sudarshan Chakra to protect our borders and skies from enemies? Mohit Bhatt, my colleague, is joining us live right now from Israel. We also have with us my colleague Srinjoy Chaudhary live with us. Good evening to both of you. Mohit, to you first. We're getting visuals of the Prime Minister with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Is it the bilateral, or is it just like a normal meeting and then the diaspora event will happen and then the bilateral takes place?
Well, in fact, you see, the official schedule that has come in from the Prime Minister office clearly says that at the airport, Prime Minister Modi will be meeting Benjamin Netanyahu. They will be discussing various issues at the airport only. So the brief of the two-day visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi would be shared in that particular meeting. It's a very important meeting which happened inside the airport only, and post that Prime Minister Narendra Modi would be coming over here at the King David Hotel, where people from Indian diaspora and in fact people from Israel are all here to welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi. There's a huge gathering inside the lobby, and shortly from now Prime Minister would be coming here. Now, post that Prime Minister would be going to the Knesset. Knesset is Israeli parliament, and he will be delivering a speech over there. Now, this will be a first speech by Indian Prime Minister in Israeli parliament, and everybody's looking forward for what exactly is the message that Prime Minister Narendra Modi will give from the Israeli parliament, specifically regarding the geopolitical tension that is prevailing in the area. The Iran-US conflict is going on. We know for a fact that how the Iran and Israel are also on the hostile terms. But then when Prime Minister visits here at that particular time, this also shows that the value that India holds for Israeli friendship, and how in the past, from past many years, Israel has always helped India when it comes to the defense sector or the other fields. Now, we also know for a fact that how Prime Minister tomorrow. Yes. Right.
Yes, but today, of course, the most important aspect is going to be his address to the Israeli parliament. And Mohit, request you to stay on with us. Let me take that point across to Srinjoy Chaudhary as well. Srinjoy, he'll be the first Indian leader, if I'm not wrong, to address the Israeli parliament. Some time ago, it was US President Donald Trump and the Argentinian leader perhaps around him.
Yes. Thing is, a speech at the Knesset by a foreign leader is very rare. As you rightly said, America, Argentina, and now India. This is a sign of the value, of the respect that Israel has for the Prime Minister of India, and the fact that the entire Knesset will be there to listen to him. This is a big moment, not just for Israel, but also for India. It's a sign that both countries are on the same page on a number of things. The fact that Prime Minister will be speaking there is important enough. And then his message also will be listened to with great care by all of Israel, because this is a point that has been deliberately made by Prime Minister Netanyahu. He believes that Prime Minister Modi should speak to his MPs and, of course, to the people of Israel. And if that is done, Prime Minister will not just be speaking to the Knesset, but 10 million people in Israel.
Right.
And that's a big moment.
Absolutely. A big moment for both the countries, for people of both the countries. Thank you very much for the moment, Srinjoy, as well as Mohit. Appreciate you joining us. We'll keep coming back to you for more on this big story. Let me also welcome our guests who are joining us live this evening. We have Adam Scott Bello, CEO, Israel Innovation Fund, Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni, retired who is a defense expert. We also have with us Pathikrit Payan, geopolitical analyst. Good evening to all of you. Thank you for joining us here on Times Now. Adam Scott, to you first. I mean, we have seen the bonhomie, the friendship that both the leaders share. We saw the bear hug, the handshake, all smiles. Symbolism, very important. But coming to business side of this particular visit, what are you looking forward to?
Well, I actually have to say thank you for having me. I always love being on Times Now. It's a pleasure to be back. I want to agree with you on the symbolism, because this visit is a major symbol of the growing and continued strong bond between India and Israel. The Israeli people love the Indian people, and I think the Indian people love Israelis. And for many years, I could say that many Israelis do not take this relationship for granted at all. Most Israelis understand the importance, not only strategically, but just culturally, that of the strong bond that is shared between the Indians and the Israelis. And I just kind of want to highlight that for your viewers. Over here, the people of Israel very much love the people of India and have a great deal of respect for the civilization and the culture that you guys have. I think that this visit is very timely given the geopolitical reality that we're seeing around the world, due to the fact of what's going on in Iran, the fact that there are so many Indians living in the Gulf and the Gulf is about to explode, and the fact that there's a lot of discussion on sharing of defense technology and other forms of technology. I think that when it comes down to it, as we say, the topless of it all is that this is about continuing to solidify the very strong relationship between our two countries, continuing to grow military and technological sharing between the two countries, and as well to send a signal to the world that this is an alliance between two countries that can't be broken very simply.
Absolutely. Interesting points you've made. Let me go across to Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni as well. Lieutenant General Kulkarni, now just before Prime Minister's visit, Israeli Prime Minister spoke of hexagon of alliances that literally rattled Pakistan. How do you see that aspect? And on that aspect, what do you expect from Prime Minister Modi during this particular visit?
Thank you very much. I know this is just the thing spoken about. The discussions are yet to take place on it. And how it will emerge, yes, you're absolutely right. Pakistan is rattled. They probably feel that it's an anti-Islamic kind of a thing which has been done. It is not so. It's to ensure that everybody lives peacefully. That's the most important thing. But how far it would go, what would be the discussions on it? Well, it has yet to come out. This is a proposal which has come from the Prime Minister of Israel, Mr. Netanyahu. And now let's see how things, he's trying to rope in the people for an alliance. But I would like to comment more on it as of now, because until and unless the discussions and then what the proposal was all about, then it is put forward to India, we discuss and we then ponder over it as to how to go about it. But definitely it has rattled. There is no denying the fact that it has rattled Pakistan. And we also have excellent relationship in the Middle East. That's also very important for us to also understand. We have fantastic relations with Israel, obviously on matters of defense, on matters of innovation, on matters of space, agriculture, various industries, fisheries, where we became the second largest fish producing country in the world, just next to China. We contribute almost 8% of fishing, all in collaboration with Israel, the kind of development that has taken place. So there's so much to discuss about. Yes, one of the, on the agenda, his proposal, which he is yet to submit, it probably will be allowed thinking as to how to go about it. So definitely.
Well, you are saying it's at a very nascent stage right now, but Pathikrit Pine, it has already rattled Pakistan. I mean, in their parliament, they passed a resolution also.
Yes.
Well, that's something they have to do whenever there is something concerning Israel. They would try to project that, this is a sinister thing that's happening. But interestingly, it would have to be understood that when the Prime Minister Netanyahu talked about hexagon, which means there will be 6 countries. Among those 6 countries, it is a given that it will be India and Israel. There will be Cyprus and Greece. 2 other nations which he's talking about, one would be an Arab state from Middle East. And the likelihood, though I'm not trying to speculate, the likelihood of someone like an UAE cannot be ruled out, and an African state which will be a the northern African state, which whether it is Egypt or somebody else, but there will be 2 Arab states which will be part of it. So it is not essentially against any religion, but this is about creating a robust counter-terror architecture, and it's very important to understand that among these countries there already exists a considerable amount of collaboration, whether it is in real time, intelligence sharing or technology sharing itself. And therefore, what is being done right now is just to institutionalize the format which already has been existing for a long period of time. I think when it comes to technology or information on terrorism, sharing that, it has been going on for a long time between India and many of the Arab states. The number of deportation of terrorists who have been involved in anti-India activities, which happened from Middle Eastern countries into India in the last 10 years, that shows that many Arab states are working collaboratively with countries like India when it comes to counter-terror operations. So Pakistan is rattled because most of the terrorists are of Pakistan origin. So eventually something will happen there today or tomorrow. That's the reason. Back to you.
Right. Okay. Now, we've discussed the issue of, hexagon of alliance that the Israeli Prime Minister has in his mind. I also want to talk to all of you about how India wants to have its own sort of Israel kind Iron Dome system. We are calling it Sudarshan Chakra. And Adam Scott, there's a lot of chatter around, this visit of the Prime Minister and how perhaps during this visit there could be some talk around how Israel can help India achieve that goal of making its own Sudarshan Chakra faster.
I think that's honestly, it's a very obvious thing to me, only because of what's happened with the Americans as well, with their Golden Dome project, which is based on the Iron Dome project. And a comment that President Trump made earlier this year was like, look, we don't have an Iron Dome in America. And he was alluding to the insecurities that they have for the safety and security of the continental 48 United States. So it really does make a lot of sense for India wanting to bring this technology to them, or to bring this Israeli technology to India, especially with what happened. I think it was less than a year ago, the terrible terrorist incident that happened, where a number of people were killed, including women and children, by terrorists from Pakistan. There's no hiding the tension that India has with their border neighbor. And let's just be honest, the safety and security of every leader should have the safety and security of the population that he is responsible for directly, in front of him as a prime priority for his governance. And I couldn't understand why he wouldn't want to do something like this for the Indian people. And if you're going to ask one ally, it should be Israel, given the fact that they invented the technology and have perfected it. And it would be great business between the two countries.
Okay. Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni, realistically, what is it that India can expect from Israel in terms of, the technology that it has in Iron Dome? Because Prime Minister Modi also has said that it will be fully researched and developed in India, and also how US has a significant role also in Israeli Iron Dome system.
Definitely. See, what happens is after Operation Sindoor, we obviously graduated to levels where we know that there is a threat. And that threat for many years we have had it. From 2003, we are with Israel in terms of space. So we have synthetic apertures, we have satellite connectivities, we have communication interface amongst us. We have Barracks coming from there, we have Heron from there, Heena from there, cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, Seeker. So much of it keeps coming out. Billions of dollars of Israel defense deals that are there, both for naval platform, the air platform, the ground platform. So all of them exist. The only thing is putting all of it now as centralized, because obviously you've got to acquire a target, you've got to be able to detect, acquire, and then destroy. All of this requires a lot of things, including surveillance, reconnaissance, constant 24/7, be able to detect, as what you said, 70 kilometers for them. For us, it's up to 150 kilometers, even beyond. We already have S-400 from Russia already existing with us. So all of this have to be co-opted, have to be coordinated. A lot exists. 90%. Remember one thing right now, Israel has 90%. And that 10%, we know what happened during this entire thing when the 12-day war took place between Iran and Israel. In that case, we saw how much of destruction that 10% could cause to Israel. So there's a lot that needs to be done. Yes, a time-tested, fantastic system exists called the Iron Dome. The Americans are working on the Golden Dome. That's why the eyes on Greenland. And we obviously are looking at Sudarshan Chakra, for which a large amount of it we have already done. We have our Akash, we have our S-400, we have our cruise missiles, we have our ballistic missiles, we have our surveillance satellites, all of it. But then co-opted, definitely when somebody has a thing existing, which is time-tested, obviously there'll be a lot that will be done in in collaboration with Israel. Obviously, Israel has a lot of collaboration coming from America. So there's a lot high-tech development which exists. And when we have decided to have a Sudarshan Chakra, keeping in view the kind of neighbors that we have, surely it will help Israel and India defense cooperation a much, much higher, I would say, credibility that would not be given between India and Israel.
Patikrit Prime, do you expect some kind of an announcement to this regard?
No, I don't expect any announcement, because if you look at the companies which are already operating the Iron Dome, which is Rafael system, and ELTA, which is part of Israeli aerospace industry, they already operate in India. They are involved in a lot of weapon systems that India has. But let me say one thing, the Iron Dome is a very effective system in place. So there's a lot of experience the Israelis have in terms of operating. But there's a huge difference between the area they secure, which is around 20,000, 21,000 kilometers in total, if you look at the area of Israel, compared to India's area, which is around 3.3 million square kilometers. There's a fundamental difference in terms of what India is trying to do, which will be a combination of a multi-layered network architecture. And what is being done is Sudarshan Chakra itself will be integrated with the rocket force that is being built up, with the integrated air command and control system, which has shown its capacity during the Operation Sindoor. Then it will be integrated with the space-based surveillance we have worked upon. So I think what would be at best done is that in terms of the Iron Beam, the directed energy weapon system that Israel has developed up till 100 kilowatt, DRDO as of yet has done it up till 30 kilowatt. So in areas of directed energy weapon, I think some kind of collaboration might happen. But most of these work, when it comes to India and Israel, are actually kept off the press release. They will not be declared. But these are invariably will be part of the whole thing.
I'm requesting all of you to please stay on with us. We're also joined on the broadcast by Daniel Carmon, who is former Israeli ambassador to India. Good evening. Thank you for speaking with us here on Times Now. How do you see this visit? And like they say, diplomacy is all about optics. I mean, of course, a lot happens after that as well, but optics are extremely important. So I want to ask you, what do you make of the first set of visuals we got from Tel Aviv, the airport, after Prime Minister Modi landed there? Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister himself, had gone to receive him. He had his wife also with him. And also, the choice of color that was there, many people are talking about it. So what do you make of the optics?
Well, you're asking about the optics, and I can add the word that usually is used, a historic visit, historic event. I really think that we've grown up and out of this stage of having everything historic. We had history 10 years ago, 9 years ago, and I remember on a personal basis, I was there exactly hosting and receiving Prime Minister Modi 8.5 years ago on the 4th of July 2017. We've grown up, we've strengthened the relations, we have a lot of content. So it's not only about optics, it's not only about semantics and diplomatic manners, I would say. There is a lot to do between Israel and India. There is a huge celebration of what has been achieved, from very low visibility to high, proud visibility that we are all talking about. I heard my predecessor now talking about military details of cooperation. We have cooperation in water.
Absolutely right. I mean, it's not just going to be about optics. It is going to be about a lot more than that. A lot has changed in the last 9 years. First time when Prime Minister Modi visited in 2017 to now in 2026. Geopolitically, a lot has changed. There is a threat that US could target Iran anytime. And then your Prime Minister has announced a hexagon of alliances as well. So what are you looking forward to as the outcome of this visit? What are you expecting from this visit of Prime Minister Modi?
I read the Israeli government's resolution from 2 days ago, a 26-page resolution with hundreds of details about where Israel can liaise with India in various fields, starting from defense, going through all the list of areas the rich area of cooperation between our countries. We've seen the Indian approach to this visit, very tangible, celebrating the past achievements, looking at the present and looking at the future with much more details. And if you talk about regional threats or global threats,
right.
You find me sitting in the safe room. Who knows where I'll be if I won't use it as a safe room in a couple of days. But frankly speaking, I think that the world today is a world in turmoil. We are looking for a new world order.
Right.
And out of traditional architecture, there is a regional architecture being made.
Right.
India, Israel have strengthened their bilateral
Absolutely.
in order to use it in multilateral with Greece, with Cyprus,
right.
the Emirates, and India. IMEC, if I can
right.
Relate to IMEC, to I2U2, there is a room for regional new partnerships.
New regional partnerships is what you're going to be looking forward to. Of course, the world is in turmoil and the world is going to be watching this visit of the Prime Minister very, very closely as well. I'd like to thank all my guests. Appreciate you joining us here on this story today. We'll, of course, be tracking this closely ahead as well. For now, slipping into a very, very short break. We'll be back with lots more. Don't go anywhere.